A husband and wife were hiking off of Highway 93 near White Hills, Arizona, when they spotted a body off of the highway. It was the body of a teenage girl, and she is still known as a Jane Doe to this day. I just wanted to preface this video very briefly with the fact that I was supposed to be posting a different video today. I was supposed to be posting my video about lie detectors and, basically why they're not very reliable and why they can't be used in courtrooms and whatnot. But I've come across some more information that I really want to include in that video. So I'm going to be refilming it and I'm going to post that next Wednesday instead. That's the plan for right now. So I thought that today I would do something different since I was also pretty short on time. And I decided that instead of the lie detector video, I'm going to be presenting you guys my first ever Jane Doe case for this channel. I'm really excited to be presenting this one to you guys. I'm not exactly sure what it was that really drew me into this specific one. I went to the Doe Network to kind of look through their database, and I was going to try to find something from Arizona since I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I thought it would be nice to just start in the state where I live. And they actually had a case from Arizona that is one of their featured cases for this month, and I'm presenting that case to you today because I saw this girl's picture, and I knew that this was the one that I needed to present, and I don't really it's a strange feeling. I just knew this is the one. There's not a whole lot of information on her, but this is the one that I need to be presenting today. And after looking through my sources and going through all this stuff, I honestly feel that this case, that her identity can be found. I feel that one day she's going to be identified, and I'm hoping that I can help bring a little more attention to this Jane Doe, and hopefully we can help her find her identity again. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. So Jane Doe had been found on September 28th of 2016, so just a little over a year ago, and she was found in the area of White Hills, Arizona, which is in the Mojave County, and she was found off of Highway 93. So this is an area with a lot of hiking, a lot of recreation. I believe it's a national forest area. It might not be a national forest area, but kind of think of that a little bit, where people kind of go to enjoy those kinds of activities. And so this is the area that she was found in, and essentially she was found completely nude. She had no clothing on, but there was a Hollister shirt that they do believe had belonged to her or, was connected to her somehow, found right near the body. And that was the only clothing. There was no jewelry found with her. There was an autopsy done on the body, and it was determined that she had been out in the elements in that spot for approximately 1 to 2 weeks, and they were unable to actually find the cause of death for her, it's very unfortunate. It complicates the case. Even if we can find her identity, it complicates us being able to figure out what happened to her and possibly being able to figure out whoever did this to her, because from the autopsy and from the way that the body had been left off of the side of the highway the way that it was, investigators did determine that they believed this to be a homicide, and the case has been investigated as such since then. So we have 2 reconstruction photos, and the first one I'm going to pop up here for you guys is from the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children. This is the photo that I saw on the homepage of the Doe Network, and it just drew me right in, and I saw this picture and I was like, I have to present this one. I don't know what it was, but I knew that after seeing her picture, that was the one that I needed to present. And so this is the picture that this is the reconstruction picture that the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children commissioned. They had it created, and they've been spreading this as much as they can. So there's another reconstruction picture from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, and I will pop that up right over here. And This one is definitely different. They don't quite look exactly the same, as you can see, but that's actually pretty typical for reconstruction photos. Often, if you have different agencies, different people making these images, a lot of the time they have some differences, and that's just pretty natural. So these are some estimations of what she may have looked like. Keep in mind that the body was found just sitting out in the elements off of a highway in Arizona. And yes, it was in northwestern Arizona, so it probably wasn't quite as hot as it was here in Phoenix, but it's definitely still hotter. I definitely wouldn't say that at the end of September it was cooling down any. It definitely wouldn't have been. So it would have been pretty hot. And if she had been sitting there for 1 to 2 weeks, I would say that she easily could have been, her body could have been out there in well over 100-degree temperatures for almost 2 weeks there. So you get a lot of decomposition with those kinds of um, factors being included in, where she was left. So there was not a lot. I believe from the information I have found that her eyes had completely decomposed or had decomposed so badly that they were not able to determine an eye color because there was not an eye color provided in the information that I found. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the other statistics that they were able to put together for Jane Doe. So I'm just going to kind of blur myself out right here, and I'm going to pop them all up onto the screen for you guys so you can hear me talk about them and you can see them and maybe write them down for later. So let's go ahead and do that. So Jane Doe was believed to have been between the ages of 13 and 17 years old. She is African American, but law enforcement did say there's a possibility that she could also be part Caucasian. She's believed to be between 5 feet 5 inches tall and 5 feet 7 inches tall, and she likely weighed between 105 and 130 pounds. She had rather thick hair that was either black or very dark brown, and it was approximately 5 inches long at the time that the body was discovered. In addition to this information, we have some dental records. It was believed that Jane Doe at some point likely had some sort of Invisalign braces or some other sort of dental intervention going on. And so they do believe that that could help lead them to who this might be if a family member recognizes, somebody who matches those different factors that I just gave you guys, somebody who may have had that kind of work done, may have had Invisalign braces at some point. And then essentially, there wasn't very much else to go on. They weren't able to get fingerprints because her body was too badly decomposed, but they were able to collect DNA. So they do have some dental records and they do have DNA on file. They've submitted these things to databases as well. And in addition to that, Jane Doe had the remnants of some pink nail polish on her toenails. I couldn't figure out exactly if the pink polish was on her toenails and her fingernails or if it was just on her toenails. But there was a mention that her fingernails had been manicured at some point, pretty recently before she had died. So there was definitely a manicure that had been done at some point, and then there was definitely pink nail polish on the toenails, but I don't know if pink nail polish was on her fingernails as well. So there have been multiple cases that people have believed to be possible matches for Jane Doe. Unfortunately, all of those cases so far have been excluded. I believe due to DNA and dental records, there wasn't a whole lot of information on some of these. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys who has been excluded so far as, being Jane Doe. And these are some really interesting cases too. So I would definitely encourage you guys to check these out as well. And as always, I leave my sources pinned to the top of the comment section down below. And I'm going to have a link for each of these girls for a little read up on each of their cases. So if you guys wanted to learn more about their cases as well, even though she's not our Jane Doe that we're talking about today, you can check out their cases too. So I'm just going to go through them real quick, and you guys are welcome to look up that information about them if you want. So those who have been excluded include Alea Bell. She went missing on November 25th of 2014 from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And there's also Sharia Grant. She went missing on August 20th of 2016 from Kilgore, Texas, and she was also 8 months pregnant at that time. There's also Jasmine Moody. She went missing on December 4th of 2014 from Michigan, Detroit, and that's not where she was residing at the time. She was up there visiting a friend for about Thanksgiving time, so just keep that in mind. I believe she is originally from Texas. There's also Brittney Robinson. She went missing on June 14th, 2012 from Mobile, Alabama. And the first picture that pops up here is her, and then there is a age progression picture of her as well that I will share with you guys. Another one of the people excluded was Lashaya Stein. She went missing on July 15th of 2016 from Aurora, Colorado. And then there is also Destiny Taylor. She went missing on June 9th of 2015 from Phoenix, Arizona. So Jane Doe is still unidentified. She hasn't found her name yet. And I feel that it's really important for these cases that if I'm going to be presenting these cases to you, I don't want to just look at them, find the information, and hand them to you guys. If I'm going to be presenting a Jane Doe case, I'm definitely going to work on trying to find any possible matches that I can. So I feel that the reason I personally don't look into Jane Doe, John Doe cases very often is because I find it very, very sad that we have no idea who these people are. And sometimes you read their cases and you're like, there's no information, there's nothing to go on. How could we ever find who this person is? And this case just really jumped out to me immediately, like I said, when I saw her picture. And I have a feeling that we can find her identity. I do feel that even if we can't figure out who did this to her, who left her there, who murdered her, I think that we can at least find out who she is. So I know that I, for one, personally am going to be continuing to look into this. I am going to be scouring the internet trying to find possible matches, and I'm hoping that I can find something that maybe I will be able to, hand off to law enforcement and maybe say, hey, I think this is a really good possibility. But to do that, there's just so much research involved. So I am definitely going to be spending some time doing that. And I really wanted to ask you guys to help me with that too. If you guys are interested in helping trying to find out who Jane Doe is for this case, I would definitely suggest looking at the sources that I have pinned to the top of the comment section down below. Look through those, gather that information for yourself. I've presented pretty much all of it, but like I said, go through it and look at it for yourself. See if you see anything that jumps out at you that seems different or that you interpret in a different way. And then go into websites like the Charlie Project. That's where I'm going to get started. That's where I would suggest that you guys get started if you want to help try to find her identity. The Charlie Project lists a lot of people who are missing, and a lot of people use this in conjunction with the Doe Network to try to match up people from both sites and try to find, names to go with bodies that have been found but haven't been identified. So I would say read that information down below, go to the Charlie Project website, and look through cases from the areas of Arizona and Nevada and California for a start, and try to see if people match up, see if anything really jumps out at you. And that's definitely what I'm going to be doing, and I'm hoping that some of you guys will join me on that too, because I would really like to find out who this girl is. I would really like to be able to find her name. And I connected to this case as soon as I saw that picture, and it's so weird. Like, it's so strange. But yeah, I feel like this is something I'm going to be spending a lot of time on. So it would be really great if you guys could help me out with that too. As always, please remember to stay respectful in the comments. I haven't had really too many issues with that so far. It's still a really small channel, so that definitely helps too. But yeah, just try to remember to stay respectful in the comments, and then always feel free to let me know what your guys' theories are. If you come across anything that you find interesting that you think could be a match for Jane Doe, definitely let me know. You can do that in the comments. My email is in the description box of all my videos if you wanted to contact me about a case. And always feel free, you guys, to make suggestions on cases that you would like to see me cover. I do like to schedule out in advance, so I already have a list of things going, but I'm always willing to rearrange that schedule if something comes up or something is suggested that, like, really needs to like be put out there. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you on Friday for another new video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's try to find out who Jane Doe is. So I just hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that we can find out who Jane Doe is. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.